Hey, I'm Nicholas Prom,
Jace.
and you're watching Posers Must Die, our latest adventures in the exciting and kick-ass world of heavy metal. Chase, how was your week, man?
Pretty good. Had a very fulfilling Thanksgiving. Lots to be grateful for this year.
Yeah?
So, yeah.
Okay. I didn't get to have any turkey for Thanksgiving. We went to the friends of the family, or Thanksgiving with, like old friends of the family. We had chicken
Yeah.
enchiladas. I'm like, what the hell? I would have stayed home if I'd have known we weren't gonna have a bird, man. Like,
I feel you there. God
dude,
damn.
all like I just started a new job this week, and I was really hoping to have like turkey, gravy, mashed potatoes, stuffing, buttery rolls, green bean casserole,
I had all of that and yams with
ah,
marshmallows and all that. Yeah.
yeah. I was never the marshmallow yam guy, but you do you, boo. But yeah, like okay, I had a piece of pumpkin pie. That was the only thing that like really felt like Thanksgiving bites. So pretty lame. I mean, the enchiladas were good, but I'm like, come on, man, really? Man, I really hope my mom cooks a turkey for Christmas because this kind of felt like bullshit, dude. I was really looking forward to having some turkey, man, and having leftovers, none of which occurred. So, uh, but yeah, what can you do? Hey, heavy metal. Want to talk about it?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
so I want to remind people, as I've been doing, to go check out Atomic Terror's live album, Live Aggression. Um, New wave of thrash metal, a popular YouTube and Instagram account, uh, nominated for nominated it for best live album of the year. It took fifth place, but pretty cool. Um, and
Pretty cool. Yeah.
yeah, that's hey, we don't that bit of press doesn't suck or publicity is not bad. And I want to point. Oh, also shout out to a new thrash metal band in Portland, Imperiosis. It is Rooster and Scott and maybe other guys from the band Memorialists. You remember them? They're kind of an epic heavy metal band around town. I don't know
Yeah.
if have
Okay.
you did you see them or not? Have you seen them?
I never got to see them, but I definitely heard of them. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if Memorialist is still active. I don't know if this is a side project or a new project. But anyway, this is Thrash, and the demo is out streaming on all platforms. It's a three-tracker, but it's a really cool taste of what's to come. But yeah, check out Imperiosis. That's a new thrash metal band to put on your radar, folks. But as far as reviews go, we got something new. Tee us up for our first review, if you would, please, Chase.
Okay. Up first, we have Black Sword Thunder Attack and their self-titled album, released April 25th this year on No Remorse Records. It's Greek epic heavy metal with the name that to me sounds like a special attack in a fighting game.
Yeah,
Or Thunder Attack!
Black Sword Thunder Attack. The name you would think like that this was a Japanese band,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That's all I'm gonna say there. Uh, but yes, it is epic heavy metal. It is really fun. It is so there's a gal singer, and she's the kind of gal singer I like in a heavy metal band. Um, Singing real heavy metal. It is not like that like Nightwish, Lacuna Coil, Within
Oh.
Temptation bullshit, that corset metal bullshit. This is a real heavy metal, and I mean, like, I know I say like, oh, kind of like Kate from Acid, but a little bit like Kate from Acid, okay. Um, but I would say vocally, she sits somewhere between Lee Aaron and Debbie Gunn from Sentinel Beast,
There you are, yeah.
okay, and big wow, uh, a lot like Omen, uh, and also some Running Wild vibes in here. So really, an exciting, fun, traditional heavy metal band. Um, some key tracks for me. Don't Hear the Sirens, um, Anvils of War, and Master of Hell. How about you, man?
Well, let's see. I really liked the first track, but dude, aside from the vocalist definitely grabs you and pulls you in, and in fact, the first track really does a good job of hooking you. Unfortunately, I kind of fell out of love with it after that. I didn't fall. I don't hate it by any means. Just it got kind of repetitive. For epic heavy metal, it was kind of middling to me.
Okay, wow, all
Uh,
right.
yeah, and
No,
again, it's not bad. It just maybe I wasn't in the mood the whole week I was listening to it or something. But I
yeah.
just
I did.
yeah,
I did.
didn't hit me.
Here's the thing: you do not have to apologize for not being in love with this. I liked this. I mean, it's not going to make top 10 or anything for the year or anything, but I think this is a cool album, a cool band people should check out. Uh, I can see what you're saying. Yeah, it gets a bit samey throughout the album. Um, but I think it's like it's there's plenty of stuff that's just like like just all right, like in metal that is still pretty wonderful to go and check out sometimes. Like, you ever heard the album? You hear the band Arch, Artch? They had the album Another Return to Churchill. Very
I believe
cool. Oh, go ahead.
you mentioned them to me before. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, definitely check out that record. But like a cool traditional heavy metal band from the '80s, but it's not on a ton of people's radar. It's not on a lot of like, oh my god, like high up on those like, I can't believe you don't know this album list. It's just kind of like a hidden little gem. And I think Black Sword Thunder Attack is kind of a neat little gem. Um, Enjoyed this. I Please, people of the world, keep being in bands like this. Please keep this style of heavy metal alive. And and I give kudos to people who do this. And it's like at no point was this like corny or cringy or cheesy. It
Oh,
was
yeah, no, I can agree with that
yeah,
definitely.
and that can be a weird like little dance that people like fail at, or it's a line that's hard to kind of like, oh shit, we kind of like stepped over the line into cornball. Not the case with this band. um, and it's interesting, they have not played live yet. They will be debuting, they're making their live debut at the Keep It True festival in Deutschland in 2026. So that's cool, or
Yeah,
interesting or whatever. But I do like this. Um, uh, and Yeah, I definitely think it is worth your time. It's worth a listen. Yeah. Did you
yeah,
have any?
definitely give it a shot. It's again, it's not bad at all. It's just wasn't my thing. But I can still say that it's worth that there are definitely there's definitely a fan base for this. There's definitely people that will absolutely adore this.
Yeah, and I liked it just fine. Um, and Chase, like I tell you, sometimes where you're at reviewing this is sometimes it's just where you were mentally that week, or did I not really get to sit with this as much? I was talking. Remember we reviewed Palau, their most recent record, and I was like, I like this, but I don't love it, and I couldn't really articulate why. And I was kind of communicating with them on Instagram, and they were kind of razzing me for not loving it. I'm like, hey, look, I like it. Like, gosh, But again, sometimes it's just maybe I was too busy and I didn't get to sit with it enough, or
Yeah,
it's just where your head was that week. So I totally get that, and like I kind of want to like I've gone back and like listened to that record, for example, and I'm like, man, I could have had some more enthusiasm for this, but like I think I was just doing too much at that time, and just so I didn't have the juice. But what can you do? You didn't have the
yeah,
juice on this one, and I like this. This was a cool record. Definitely recommend checking it out.
cool.
Not a waste of time. Um, but yeah, that said,
Yeah,
why don't we move on to what's that segment that bears your name?
we got Chase's classic album, and
Oh,
this week we have Megadeth. Peace sells. Buying.
who is buying? Not me. No.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm kidding.
Sorry, released September 19th, 1986 on Capitol Records.
Right, right. And this was kind of like
There we are.
the they got on Combat for the previous record, and like Combat, I think it's like they kind of sold the contract, and this also has the Combat logo on this album as well. So it's kind of weird. Like I forget, like they got bought out by Capitol or something like that. But anyway, it's this transition to a major label, which is great. That's good. Um, and I will say, for a band that I was way into in my youth, but I have like over the years really lost enthusiasm for this band. Um, that said, this is one of their better records. Some people will say it's
Yeah.
their very best. I'm not quite in agreement there, but it is among their best, and I certainly have plenty of good things to say about it. Um, uh, why don't we go track by track on this one, Chase? I mean, it's I think we can. I think that's manageable for such a well-known record. Um,
Yeah,
you know,
sure. Sure,
the
man.
yeah, Wake Up Dead, man, great.
Uh, yeah, that's a fun opening track. Jesus, no, it's one of the classics. It just you go ahead and grab it from there because
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
it's a classic. It's yeah.
it's great. You remember? I mean, you remember the Wake Up Dead video? They did videos for Wake Up Dead and Peace Cells, and they're both really good videos, very memorable. Um, and uh, uh, I think that really sold them as like, okay, this is like primo shit when it comes to thrash metal. Like those videos really sold like the concept and the image of the band and the music really well, without any compromise. I think a lot of like major labels were like kind of
They weren't
afraid.
just on a stage or they weren't just in a factory somewhere. That whole
Well, the Wake Up
deal.
Dead video is a performance clip, but
Well, yeah, but it wasn't just a plain shot of them on there. Oh, just kind of rotating. There was a bit more like flavor and personality to it.
right. And what I was trying to go with this is kind of like they didn't try to Capitol didn't try to like soft pedal it like let's do one of your lighter songs or do the video of the cover song, like
Uh,
to kind of like almost trick people into buying a thrash metal record. They didn't do that, and I really really appreciate that. Thank you, Capitol, for believing in this project. But yeah, Wake Up Dead is a great one, and it's a song about infidelity. Um, you know, uh, it's a great title, um, but I feel like some of the song titles are almost like tricks because you like just on first glance you might think like okay here's stereotypical like metal cliche, but really it's about something else entirely. Later in the album
yeah.
there's a song that if you don't know what it's about you would get a different idea perhaps. We'll get there when we get there, but yeah, Wake Up Dead, fantastic. Let's see. Um, The Conjuring. The Conjuring. One of the album highlights for me. Always liked this one a lot. Um, and one of the few instances, there's two songs on this album that touch on the occult, or like,
Yeah.
the cliche of like satanic shit in metal, whatever. Um, and I think there's like one other song later a couple albums later in the Megadeth canon that even approaches that subject. And it's it's interesting because there's plenty of bands who made their whole career about that or just would do every song the whole album is about that. Like look at Possessed, look at Slayer, okay, for a couple
Yep.
primo examples. But not here with Megadeth. They're touch on it a couple times and moving on, largely about real shit. Um, so um, I thank you for that, because I think one of the strengths of thrash metal is the social consciousness, where where either being about deeply personal stuff that's not about like I'm sad because a girl doesn't love me, or I'm happy I'm falling in love. You know what I mean? Uh, and it's not like the sleazeball hair metal lyrics of just like, here I am, the misogynistic womanizer. You know, um, but yeah,
Come on, baby, do heroin with me.
yeah, yeah. Um, well, with Megadeth, maybe that was the pickup line. You know.
Okay, that was yeah. Oh, jeez.
Woo! Well, anyway, hey, I'm not really judging right now. Okay, for
Okay.
once. Okay, but yeah, The Conjuring is great. Uh,
Oh,
um, The Conjuring is a great
the thing
song.
that's like something it's like I okay. Oh, it's a classic. Oh, the yeah. I'm gonna try not to do that and repeat myself over and over again, but I will say this. Oh, God, the fucking the riffs for weeks in this album, and you could say that for almost every Megadeth album. But this one in particular just got some really tasty shit going on. Since we're going track by track, I'll try to drool on the tracks that really do it, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Why don't we talk about Peace Sells? Okay, and it's
Oh.
pretty cynical. It's like people are sold on the idea, selling the idea of peace. Like, this is kind of like a commentary on mass media, you know, and interesting things like and the kind of world geopolitics, I should say.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, remember 1986? It's still the Cold War. Nuclear war could happen. Look at this album cover. You know, like, um,
Yeah.
it's the UN, you know, being bombed. You know, so that's kind of scary. But also, yeah, I mean, uh, do
When I was a when I well, actually this is actually of the classic, I guess, Megadeth era. This is the album that I have the least amount of interaction with over time. I only recently got into this one. Like I bought it at a secondhand store like about 15 years ago or so.
yeah,
And I remember when okay, because like most people, I'm sure we all heard the MTV News baseline.
yeah, oh
Like
yeah,
he's just if you did, I didn't know that was Megadeth until I was well into adulthood, and was just like, "Are you real?"
yeah,
And then when you listen to what the song's about, you kind of laugh that MTV used that baseline for
right,
for their version of corporate news. Blech.
yeah.
So
But
yeah,
it's interesting, and it also, you know, like, can you put a price on peace? You know, because it gets kind of like, you know, like, look, why would they cure cancer when there's so much money to be
mm,
made in fighting cancer? You know what I mean?
yep.
And it's like, is peace good for business? Really? You know, not for
Yeah,
our arms dealing, not for our munitions factory. You know, not for us trying to you know, remember the Iran Contra affair, which was just a couple years after this. You know,
yep.
so
The
so
money
it
is in finding the solution, not actually solving anything.
right,
Yes.
and so it's very
Yes.
cynical. You know, this is the second in Megadeth's Ellipses trilogy. You know, where like it's the title is, you know, da 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 dot dot
Yeah.
dot something or other. You know,
Killing
the
is my
first,
business. Yeah.
yeah, Killing Is My Business, Peace Sells, and So Far So Good So What all care have that in common, but also this cynicism, and especially, you know, for So Far So Good So What. But that's a topic for
Yeah.
another time. But yeah, Peace Sells is great. You know, it's an undeniable classic. Then Devil's Island, and this is the one I was saying, like, you know, if you just look at that title, you think, oh, an island full of devils. What is this satanic rock group? It's about the movie Papillon. You know, it's about a penal colony. I mean, you know, of course, reading even a cursory glance at the lyrics tell that story. So I'm like, okay, cool. And like, yeah, a typical theme, you know, a thrash metal theme of like songs about isolation and disenfranchisement and like being separate from society. You know, these are relatable themes. You know, you may not be in prison, but you might be in prison, the prison of your lame small town, of your square family, of your religious
Your
upbringing.
cubicle, your
Yeah.
yeah.
And so I think, you know, your fucking dead end job, you know, all those things. That's kind of like your Devil's Island, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
man, this shit's pretty deep, man. If you really want to analyze it like that, and it's a great song. Always like that song. Um,
They're deep lyrics for a bunch of guys who can't spell death.
they dropped the A because here's the story. I recently subjected myself to listening to Dave Mustaine's autobiography, but I started
Oh
listening
God.
to
Okay.
the first of two from David Ellefson, and he was saying they dropped the A because eight is kind of eight letters is kind of like, okay, the letter eight is like an infinite loop.
Yeah.
And Mustaine thought that was a good omen or whatever. So they're like, all right, we'll spell it Megadeth without the A in death. And okay, sure, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, look,
Okay,
that's the
Dave,
story.
sure.
But what can you do? What can you do? Uh, but
I will say, I will also say that the first 50 seconds of Devil's Island are my favorite of the entire album. The
oh
build
yeah,
up before the actual song starts is just so much
oh
fun.
yeah, it is slower, like dun dun dun, 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 dun. It's like
Yes.
it's like a jazz fusion Black Sabbath kind of,
Okay, yeah.
right?
That's fun.
Yeah,
Fun way of putting that, yeah.
that and then of course the tempo shifts upward and yeah, it just goes and it's really good. It's a great song. Um, the brilliance of the first couple of Megadeth albums, I think, was that jazz component that you got from Chris Poland and Gar Samuelson, and I think it's what made them Megadeth particularly unique uh, in a lot of the early thrash metal bands, you know, because I don't think so many of those bands were bringing that influence in. Um, um, of course, this kind of like these bands, or excuse me, Megadeth walked or crawled so that Watchtower and Dark Angel could run. Like I think in the more technical thrash bands, you know, you, when Dark Angel got to like Leave Scars and Time Does Not Heal, like oh my god, you know. But this album and its predecessor are starting to lay the groundwork for that, the technical thrash thing. So cool, you know. But yeah, so then we can move on to Good Morning Black Friday, which I've been thinking about this song a lot this week, and it occurred to me this is sort of like the song Band on the Run by Wings. You know that
Explain
song? It's
yourself.
like, I will explain myself.
Yeah.
So Band on the Run has like two and a half minutes of that, like, can we ever get out of this place?
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
kind of like slow and like, all right, this
And then it,
is, yeah. And
yeah.
then it shifts into like the really, really rock and rolly part. Like,
Band on the
yeah,
run.
yeah. And
Yeah.
it's like really fun. And this song does that too. It's like, okay. The Good Morning, it's like, it's kind of like, this is pretty minimalist and just like, okay, you're kind of
It
setting,
felt like waking up from a hangover.
it's like you're setting us
Wake up
up.
with a hangover.
Yeah, you're setting us up. You're giving us this lull or this slow kind of interlude before the really like kick-ass thing about this like song about a serial killer, right? And but the Good Morning is kind of like their mindset, and then like of like the insane person, and then Black Friday is like the killing spree. Like we've snapped. Here
Okay,
come
yeah.
all the murders, and okay, so anyway, yes, I'm gonna call it that. I know it's a weird comparison to make, but I think it works. But yeah, uh, I'm really into the Black Friday section of this song more. I think it's
Oh
just
yeah.
so rad. I don't like Band on the Run. I don't really need that front part. You know, it's whatever. But like once that really kicks in, I'm like hell yeah, that's where it gets me amped. So I like I like it.
It's a bipolar song. It's manic depressive. It's coming out of its doldrums and then like just running around everywhere on the Black Friday end of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I got
So
you.
yeah. So how about some thoughts from you about this song though?
Well, Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you just said. It's definitely well, and then I summed it up my way with the bipolar thing just then, or manic, whatever I said. Anyway,
It's okay. It's okay. Sorry.
uh, no, I was, yeah. They kind of jazzed myself up there for a second. Like, what was I saying? Do I ever know what I'm saying? Anyway, it's a really good one. I actually I enjoy the climb from the opening to or from the intro of the song. Uh, Good morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I said it felt like it felt like waking up with a hangover, but I guess it's more like waking up like the day of or after a funeral or something,
Hmm.
morning, or maybe not. Who knows? I didn't actually
Yeah.
listen to the lyrics this time. So
Oh. Okay.
yeah.
Um. Okay. Um. And so then we get into Bad Omen, a song that I will say kind of overlooked for a really long time. Sometimes there will be like that song on the album that just like, yeah, that's good, but doesn't really register in my brain. And for the longest time, this is one of them. And like, I would talk to my old roommate Jason, you know Jason, um, and he like really was like all about this song, and I was like, yeah, really? I never like it wasn't. I don't know. So for some reason, for long, this one would kind of go in one ear and out the other. But going back and revisiting it this week, I'm like, yeah, no, this is a better song than I remember, and this is good stuff. It's again, it's another one going into like the occult, um, which is a rarity. I think they again, Megadeth, I think only ever touched on it again on Five Magics on Rust in Peace, which is like more like a song just straight from a D&D manual, like my wizard does this, you know. It's
Lightning bolt. Yeah.
yeah. Um, uh, uh, yeah. But yeah, cool song. What do you have on Bad Omens or Bad Omen?
Honestly,
Yeah.
okay, because I didn't know we were going to be going track by track. That this one actually falls into that space of, oh yeah, that's on here. So
Oh,
I kind
okay.
of
So
validated
okay.
what you just said.
Yeah. Um, but it's kind of like you're listening to the Haunting the Chapel EP, and the title track
Okay.
is the least memorable song on it. Um, but it's like in any like in if you just pull it out like out from the context of the other thing and just like isolate it, you're like, this is a good song. Like what? And so this is kind of really great material can really overshadow stuff that is just good. you know and and I think that's kind of what happened with this one. I got one other song that's a little like that for me, but I think I've got more juice on here. Not just yet, but the next song on this album is their cover of the old Willie Dixon blues song "I Ain't Superstitious," and I think this is the clunker on the record.
Oh, I
Yeah,
like it.
you do you do you?
I like it. Like it, but I get that it should probably be like on a album of covers or like an EP of just like odds and ends, a B sides sort of thing or
Yeah,
something.
well, like they did with
Um,
they had that EP. You know the one I'm talking about. They put it out between Euthanasia and Cryptic Writings. What was that EP that was it collected a bunch of their like non-album songs?
oh, let me do this from memory
I cannot
here.
remember what the hell that was
No.
called.
uh,
This is such great show.
shit. Yeah, totally. Anyway, whatever.
Whatever
I
the
don't
hell
remember
that
what.
was called, it's called like
Yeah,
Missing Pieces or some shit like that, and that's not it. I just
no, that's
cannot
not
remember what it's called. But anyway, you come on. You're gonna tell me you don't remember that release though?
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember what it's called.
Fuck. I can't either. I I'm blank. Like yeah. But anyway, whatever the hell that was called.
It's all
Uh,
good.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
that had some covers too. And like here's the thing, I like I really think that when Megadeth it does a cover, oh man, is it corny? It is. It's
Yeah.
they're never as bad as like when like literally every cover song Exodus has ever done. But like man, but they're pretty bad. They're pretty like come on man, can we just have an
No,
original
this one's
song?
better.
I think this is
This
one of their
one's
like.
definitely better than Anarchy in the UK. Like I would say.
I would disagree. But here's the thing. While here's the thing, when Megadeth does a cover, okay, whether it's these boots or this or Anarchy in the UK, I'll use as examples, okay. I think those are the three that are on albums as far as the early albums. Uh, they're played well. The execution is interesting, and obviously they ramp it up into like the Megadeth's jazz metal fusion thing, uh, and so
Yeah.
it's interesting. But like, uh, and of course they changed some of the lyrics to kind of make it their own, and I'm like, that's cool. But I think this really is such a corny ass cover. It really drags the album down for me. Um, um, I think it's one of those things. It's like it has too many endings. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You
Yeah. Okay, I
know.
can agree to that.
But yeah,
Like it's not a. It's. I will also say that it is not a long song. It's like 2.5 minutes long or something like that.
it feels
It
like
feels a little longer than that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like you're putting all these like blues cliches into this metal cover of a blues song, and I mean I'm sure those are present in the original, but it's kind of like, oh man, dude, I'd rather sit through another set from George Thorogood than listen to this song, like, which is pretty bad. George Thorogood sucks. Like some of the worst dad rock, and that's kind of like where this kind of makes me feel. But moving on, I think I've like
Okay.
said my piece about this. If you like it, that's fine, Chase. Um, my last
Yeah.
words, the album closer. I gotta say, some of the most poignant shit from Megadeth, certainly of this era, and really kick ass. Later on, the more Dave gets into his feelings songs, the more like, do I really have time for this shit? Like the further we get into the career. But like this early on, and it's still like a pretty raging song. Uh, yeah, I like it, and there's a lot of really unique guitar licks and really interesting stuff on this song. I really like My Last Words. I think it's kicks ass.
Unfortunately, this is another one of those cases where I didn't know we were going to go track by track, so I don't have a whole lot to say about it. It's a good song. I don't have a whole lot to isolate on it, though. It makes for a good closer. I can be judgmental about that, I suppose. Like how it leaves you satisfied. Like you
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
need like this a special edition like would go on past this like a remix or something else.
yeah.
But this is a good natural spot to end, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, and it's a lot of people will close an album with like a softer, slower, wimpier song, and this one is not, and I appreciate that. It is yes, it is a proper end. Um and some records just kind of like falter on the back half like that, and I think this definitely is a point of recovery after I Ain't Superstitious. So right on. Um, but yeah, P Salesman Who's Buying. It's definitely one of Megadeth's best. It's a serious classic. Um, you know, every thrash metal fan knows this album. You would think. Um,
You'd hope.
but yeah,
Yeah.
right. Um, yeah, I mean it's sometimes it's hard to talk about albums that are so well known. Like, what am I gonna add that's
Exactly.
fresh or
Yeah.
new? But you know what? I think it's worth revisiting, and I had some fun going back here, and yeah, it'll be interesting, because coming up in the new year, early in the new year, we'll have the new Megadeth album, um, uh, uh, to talk about, and that'll be an interesting. That's I'm sure we'll have a lively discussion about that. Let me just say. Um, why don't we
Oh
get
wow, that's coming up close. I thought that was in March, but that's in January. Okay.
Yeah, what is the release date on that, Chase?
January 23rd.
And what's the title again?
Megadeth. It's self-titled. I forgot that too. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not a self-titled album, Chase.
I get it right here. Yeah. Then you look it up, man. I don't know
I'm
what it
looking.
is.
I'm looking it up.
That's what it
I'm
is.
looking it up.
Okay.
I know it's called something else. I thought it was called the. God, this. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it's not
It's all good, man.
self-titled. Anyway,
Well, but yeah, I suppose we have like a concert calendar or
we
something like that to get
do.
to.
I swear we are stumbling so bad tonight, and I'm really not loving it. But anyway, oh, now I'm looking it up. God, where the hell? Hidden Treasures was the name of that EP that compiled those like songs from movie soundtracks and shit.
Okay, okay.
Anyway, it had that
Well, there's
really bad cover of Paranoid from the Black Sabbath. Had that really cheeseball Alice Cooper cover.
Yeah.
But it also had
Come on. Yeah,
Angry
yeah.
Again. It also had Angry Again and Go to Hell, and Diadems, which were all great songs. Um, and Breakpoint, yeah. But but yes, okay. So concert calendar. Tell me you didn't just freeze up. Are you still on? Okay, no. Okay, good. Concert calendar. So coming up on December 6th at the Twilight, there is a show. This is kind of a mixed bill. Chronic Illness, so I believe are death metal. Support from Violent Insurrection, thrash, and Chainbound, who are kind of a groove metal shit. Yeah. Twilight, December 6th. You can go to that. That is a show. Um, yeah. Then at the High Limit Room, December 7th, um, got a big night of hardcore with Spur, Ceramic, Fortune, Alibi, and Found Out. That should be a cool one. Unfortunately, I got to work. I was hoping to hit that up, but my new job is weird. It's I got to think. Exciting thing that you and I will be both attending. Um, Blind Guardian, um, with support from Inciferum and seven was it Seven Kingdoms? Yeah.
Kingdoms. Yep.
Yeah, but interestingly enough, Blind Guardian is playing their album Somewhere Far Beyond in its entirety, plus maybe
All
another
right.
half dozen other songs. Um, that's cool. I never got into them in a major way, but I'm like, I said, you know what? Let's do it. Let's hit this up. This is filling in the gaps. We're gonna have a fun time. We're gonna have a fun time going to see
Yeah.
Blind Guardian. Um,
Hell yeah.
yes. But let's see. Let's see. Saturday, December 12th at the Twilight, it's Merry Thrashmas 2, featuring the triple thrash threat of the Accused AD, Chemical Annihilation, and Battle Cattle. I gotta miss this one too. I got work, but you folks can still go and have a thrash-tastic time. That's gonna be a dope show. Um, let's see. Also at the Twilight, a couple days after Christmas, um, our friends in Damage Overdose and Dead Nexus, with additional support from Gathering. This is a night of death and black metal. Um, and let's see. Um, the there's the Red Room's New Year's Bash of 26. It's January 3rd, not on New Year's and not at the Red Room. It's at the High Limit Room. So why is it called that? I don't even know. But it is going to be a bunch of hardcore bands. It's going to go from like 2 to 10 p.m. Um, Teardown, Culprit, To the Teeth, and a slew of other bands. This is going to be really cool. Um, I am almost certainly going to be going to this. That's going to be a fun time. And then
All right.
yeah, and then also January 3rd, down in Eugene, is the Metal for Meals 2 benefit show for hungry folks. Damage Overdose and some other bands will be playing. It is a food drive. Bring canned food, bring money, help the starving folks. I mean that in no flippant way. That is important stuff, especially in these trying times. So that's going to do it for this week's show. Chase, if you don't mind, hit us with a sign off, baby.
But after donating the food thing, my sign off might be kind of weird, but I guess I'll give the old college try. I hope it's not too weird. But thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and remember that it's time feed the beast.
To
The
what?
beast, but also the
Feed the beast?
to feed the beast.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, you cut out when you were doing it. So, okay. Well, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.